let the daughter perish, so that they could have a crack at another kid. So they said, look, if you have a daughter, you could have another kid anyway. And Tibetans are the only ones who could have 3 children. If they have more than 3, all the services, medical care, education they get will be cut off from the additional children, although that's often not enforced. So that's a policy. So it's very consciously trying to do that. This authoritarian country, but we really should do something like that. And we should also, in a planned economy, be producing for need and not for new gimmicks and new construction. And that's what a selling market, a consumer market always is. It's not enough to make a toaster. Then you got to make a toaster with a little bell and whistle on it, and then you got to make a toaster that dials your radio for you. You know what I mean? There's always extra little gimmicks on every little thing, which I can't even stand because I don't even know how to work them. Anyway, yes. Can we? Let's go to the cheap seats in the back. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You have to stand up and talk loud. Well, she wants to know how can we get people to understand that these social services, which they condemn as socialistic, they're benefiting from them and their life would be less tolerable without them. Well, for one thing, by saying it would be nice if the Obama administration, it would be nice if the Democratic Party would develop an ideology and a narrative and a way to put these things together thematically and hit it home and all. The Republicans are vastly more superior and politically much more intelligent. Democrats are pathetic. They're like they're always reaching across the aisle. They're always there isn't that much difference between us. Oh hell, there is. Are you crazy? And I see where we can get along. Obama is happiest when he's sucking up to the conservatives and saying, I'm for nuclear power. Remember when he put that $40 billion plan he's got out to build a new nuclear power plant in a country where not a single nuclear power plant can get insurance because they're so unsafe, and if any one of them blow, it's not going to mean 8 dead like PG&E had with that gas line. It's going to mean 8 million people will be sickened and hurt and all that. And he's standing there and saying, "I'm for nuclear power. You love me now? You love me now? Do you love me now?" So we really need to have an impact and a narrative in that sense. Okay, we got to have a guy now. There's so many nice. This is great. Hawaii is. Wait, who's the guy? Is that the one? Point to him. Noelle. Yes. Whatever Noelle says, she just pulls the strings. You may have noticed. I'm just. Okay.
Socialism that went out of control. Means production was taken over, the economy collapsed, it created far more problems than it ever solved. The problem that people like me who have central life is knowing when the brakes are applied to the regulations. Unfortunately, we hear so much of capitalism is bad, regulations. It sounds awfully like a freight truck.
What country do you live in? We hear so much that capitalism is bad and regulation is good. Really? You hear so much of that tonight here in this room. Yeah, you certainly did, but not in this country. No.
So my question is,
the left isn't saying anything. That's the problem. I just pointed out. Yeah. Go ahead.
What are the limits to the regulations that you would other words, do you see capitalism and governmental regulations working side by side? Do you see capitalism as fundamentally flawed and needs to be done away with? I mean, I understand the complaints. I don't understand.
I see capitalism as fundamentally flawed and should be done away with in basic industries in certain areas. The idea that you should have medical care delivered because someone's going to make a profit on it, the idea that your pharmaceuticals should be made and disseminated because people are getting richer and richer from it, that to me is absolutely horrible. I can see a room for a mixed economy. I can see certain social areas. I can see certain areas where I don't want socialism. Like I don't think you can have a state-run system for restaurants. I mean, they had that in the Soviet Union. It was awful, you know. I mean, the last thing as a manager of a restaurant in Moscow, the last thing you want is a large, satisfied clientele to keep showing up and causing you to work harder. And you get the same pay no matter what. And the less people that come, the more food you can take home or sell on the black market or something like that. I mean, so there's certain things. You have to look at where does socialism work and where might a private entrepreneurship work. The Cubans are trying to do that right now. So, but I don't think the problem here has been there's such a stress on regulation and such. I mean, the questions I brought up today are never joined in the media. Never. How much of this discussion, maybe 1 or 2 points here that you've heard somewhere on the media, but most of the points raised, do you see that? I'm talking about the major media, the corporate media, and she's holding up her paper. Okay. Oh, sorry, I can't see. Yes, ma'am. Wait, you got notes?
I just jotted it down now, okay? Obama was funded by the same people that Bush was funded by. I listened to the debates. I knew about nuclear energy and Obama, about Pakistan, and with 96% of the media owned, and thank you for your book on that earlier, the media is owned by multinational corporations. How can we make the changes? It's still the same old, the guy with the best public relations wins. Obama can talk.
Well, it was true during the campaign. He kept saying, let's hope change. We have to go change. And I kept saying, change what? Change for what? There was very little substance in his campaign. And, of course, both major candidates got money from Goldman Sachs, and Hillary Clinton got money from Rupert Murdoch. Tony Blair got money from Rupert Murdoch. I mean, why own only one party when you can own two? But there are elements in the Democratic Party. There's a progressive caucus of about 70 or 80 members, you know, in the House who really do have a different view, more like Dennis Kucinich, Barbara Lee, John Conyers, these kind of people. Abercrombie was one of them too. And you all had the good sense of electing him as governor, huh? That's pretty good. Okay, the gentleman, yes, go ahead. What if you what? I can't hear you. You got to say it a little louder.
When you collectivize your workforce, you don't have people left behind anymore. But don't you also get rid of your innovators and the people who want to break away from the pack?
Well, that's a good question. When you do have a collectivized workforce, everybody gets a guaranteed right to a job, so forth. But do you? What about your innovators, or people who want to break away from the pack? How do you do innovation in a planned economy and a balanced economy? I think when you look at it a little more closely, a lot of the innovations come through on government funding and government spending. Most research and development, with killing, novel and new ways of killing, it's all been government funded. So they can innovate tremendously. A socialist institution like the Pentagon innovates tremendously. They now have drones, a plane without a pilot in it that can go down and bomb and kill children at a wedding and the like. So don't underestimate the innovation. What we want to do is have that innovation for life and not for death. We want to have it for democracy.